Not only the world champion of public speaking in 1998, but he was also the youngest person to do this at the age of 28. And the man I'm about to introduce can lay claim to being stable in high seas, as he is one of the world's leading authorities in leadership communication, and also navigating the shark-infested waters of the corporate world. Now, the man I'm about to introduce, ladies and gentlemen, can be trusted to carry the most important of cargo. And today, he will share his treasure trove. It's a bit Sunday. Treasure trove of knowledge with us. And I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that the man I'm about to bring up on stage this morning has barnacles all over his bottom. Please welcome to the stage previous world champion of public speaking and current communication superstar, Mr. Brett Rutledge.
And give Ross a round of applause. He is doing an absolutely fantastic job as the MC. A self-made man, a wonderful example of unskilled labour, if I may say so. It's funny, it's a big night last night, wasn't it? I've woken up with a very deep, husky voice this morning. I can be Barry White this morning.
You love very, very.
Which of course is an absolute waste of time at 8:30 in the morning, isn't it? I could have done that with about midnight last night. That would have been much more helpful. It's interesting when you reflect on it's 12 years now since I won the World Championship. 12 years, and so much changes in that time. I now have a family. I've got 2 young children, a 2.5-year-old and an 11-month-old. It's a very short gap, isn't it? Yeah. My wife can't actually remember having sex for the second one. Which means that I am the father. Just seemed ashamed to wake her. Anyway, it's interesting when you have children, you start reflecting on your own experience, don't you? You look back to your own childhood when you were a child. And I should say that my second child, Sam, his name is Liam's the older one, Sam's the younger one. Sam was born on the 31st of December last year, New Year's Eve, which is fantastic because now every year I'll be able to say to Sam, there you go Sam, Dad's put the fireworks on again for you this birthday. I don't do that for your brother, do I? You're my favourite. Anyway, you reflect on your own childhood. And when I think back to where everything started, for me, I was the kind of kid your parents told you not to play with. Some of you may remember me. Born an only child and still not my mother's favourite. Detention hall's only permanent resident. My sole purpose in life, much like Ross's, to simply serve as a warning to others. My mother was in fact 36 months pregnant with me. Just kept putting it off. And when I finally did pop out, Dad spent 3.5 hours looking for a loophole in the birth certificate. At school, my body would be in the classroom, but my mind would be dreaming. Typically in a galaxy far, far away. And while my teachers would repeatedly tell me to grow up, face facts, this is reality, I would more often than not be facing my own kind of reality, which for me was a science fiction kind of reality, a curious mix of Star Wars and Doctor Who. Do we have any fans of Doctor Who?
Yay!
Oh, excellent. Quite a few nerds. Do you remember the Daleks?
Yes!
Daleks were the coolest marauding invaders the Earth had ever seen, weren't they? We are the Daleks. We have come to destroy your world. Resistance is futile. Exterminate! 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 Oh no! Stairs! You're a bit too young for that one, love. You ask some of these old coots around you. I'll explain that one to you. 24781, what are you doing? I am impregnating this earth, darling. You fool, that is a trash can. Exterminate. Very, very scary when you consider they're only armed with an egg whisk and a plunger. See, as a small boy, my imagination would take me to the most fantastic places, and from them I bring back all of these amazing ideas. And I can still remember the pride my father felt when at only 80 years of age, with one of my amazing ideas, I managed to raise over $500 through a garage sale. I can also remember his panic when he went out to get his car and couldn't find it. It was about then that Dad started being a lot tougher on me. Swimming lessons, particularly tough. He used to take me down and chuck me off the deep end of the pier. Swimming back to shore wasn't too bad, but getting out of the bag first was extremely By the time adolescence had come around, my teachers were telling my parents, especially convened meetings of the Parent-Teacher Association, that my problem wasn't so much that I possessed an open mind as a vacant block. He'll have to face facts if he's ever to reach his true potential, they would say. Some of the older, slightly nastier teachers. My advice, son, you ever find yourself in a situation where there's a price on your head, you should take it. You see, they never really understood my imagination, but that was how I explored, and that was how I learned, and that was the source of my desire to learn. But for my teachers, it's always, grow up, face facts, this is reality. And they couldn't really see what imagination and dreams could achieve. But I could, and I was starting to learn from some of mankind's most infamous dreamers, the likes of Sir Edmund Hillary, Gene Patton, Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, Albert Einstein, who said imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. And it was about this time that my imagination started to run away with itself. You know all those voices you have bouncing around inside your head? There's one lame bloke going, don't put your hand up, let's go right. I'm a good driver, I can drive. I'm a good driver, I can. You ever seen Tony Blair and George W. Bush together? You remember that? It was like the UN production of Rain Man, wasn't it? Come on, George, here we go. My imagination started to run away with itself, and all those voices in my head just started to take off. And the worst thing you can do if you've got voices in your head is give them names. Once you give them names, they never go away. They're with you for the rest of your life. And it starts off very simply, even though my voice is husky this morning. It starts off with children's stuff, kids' TV programs and cartoons and family TV shows, things like hey, oh, Kermit the Frog, it's the Muppet Show, the first Christmas song of you, yay! Oh, Kermit, oh my God, it's Piggy, what candy? I've told you before, Donkey, I don't like you to go away. Oh, come on, man, come on, come on, this day, no, that's fucking Mary Stories, the mother from breakfast, I make a waffles. Shaggy, like there's a ghost right behind you, Scoob. Oh, Harry Potter must get back to Hogwarts, that is great danger there. Yes, strong with the force, you are.
Please be nice to them if they be nice to us. Yes, yes, my precious.
It's very simple stuff. I grew up watching the Warner Brothers cartoons. I used to love the Warner Brothers cartoons. You remember those? You remember people like, Sylvester the Sorry, yes. But seriously, that'll wipe right off. Don't give it a second thought. Foghorn Leghorn, arche, boy, that kind of thing, and 70 Sam, H-Wabbits, that sort of thing. Elmer Fudd, do you remember Elmer Fudd? Yes, a number of you are modelling yourselves on Elmer Fudd. In your dotage. Hello, Dennis. Leave that wee quiet. Well, I would love it. But I used to wonder what would happen if you could mix voices and characters together. If you take someone like Elmer Fudd and turn him into a rock star, if you get to mash him up with Bruce Springsteen or something like that, you get this, wouldn't you? Driving in my car, I turn on the radio, I try to pull you closer, but you say, whoa. You say you don't love me, I say you're a liar, but when we kiss, ooh, fire. So my teachers really didn't think that I'd amount to much, and by and large they were proved largely correct. But as Ross said, and as everyone here knows, 1998 I won the World Championship of Public Speaking. Now you guys all know how the World Championship of Public Speaking works, don't you?